You gotta ask yourself, am I okay with the way it is in my life? Do I want to keep it the way it is forever, or do I want to try something new? Today's an opportunity to try something new. That's what today's about. Now, as I'm really excited right now to talk to you, you still don't know who I am. So let me give you a little bit of understanding of who I am. Anybody know what's across the street over there? A cemetery, yeah. So when I was little, we were poor. My mom was struggling. She had just finished high school. She was in college. And when she met my dad wanted to marry her. But my mom was like, I want to finish college first. And then she got pregnant with me. And 3 months before I was born, my father died. And my mom began to stress. She began to feel worried. She was struggling. And one of our first apartments that I remember was across the street from a cemetery. And I don't know when I first noticed that it was a cemetery. I just remember one day I was like, what are all those little concrete things over there, you know? A kid being curious, and my mom was like, oh, that's a cemetery. And I'm like, well, what's that? And she told me what a cemetery was. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean there are people in the ground over there? What do you mean? She seemed to be like normal with it, and I was like freaking out. And my mom is an adult. She knows what happens in the circle of life. But in her mind, it's no big deal that people are across the street from our house or in the ground. For me, I'm like not okay with that. And so this one day I remember, I was like looking outside to get the trash. I could see the garbage can. And I'm like, well, you know what I could do? If I just throw it, I'll make it. And then I don't have to go down these stairs because I'm actually pretty scared. I mean, as I get that last hit of momentum, it slips out of my hand. I heard stuff just shattering everywhere. And I'm like, well, it's gonna have to stay there till the morning. But maybe no one's gonna know that I did it. Like maybe if I just go in the house real quick, maybe it's one of these other kids in this apartment complex who did it. So I go back in the house like everything is fine. Like 5 in the morning. All I hear is, Ashanti! I go into the front living room. The manager of the apartment complex is there talking to my mom. What happened in that day, I got in trouble for 2 reasons. One, that I didn't tell the truth. 1. 2, because when I told my mom I was too scared to go, she's like, there's no reason to be scared. How does she know what I feel inside of myself? How can she tell me that I didn't feel fear going down those stairs knowing that across the street were bodies in the ground? Like in my mind, that was like confusing to me. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have the right to be scared. But the fact that she told me I didn't have a reason to be afraid was confusing because I think that your feelings are important. So I learned early on that actually you can't tell people all your feelings. That's what I was taught.